What is up there, beautiful people, and welcome to another edition of Just Trending News. Today we're speaking everything that's related to Zimbabwe yet again. As in South Africa, Zimbabweans always find a way to make it into the trends list. So today, Zimbabwe is trending on Twitter purely because it is being reported by major news outlets that they actually arrested and plan to deport 148 Malawians that were in Zimbabwe illegally. And as you can imagine, there's a lot of shock in South African Twitter because everybody's like, surely Zimbabwe, this cannot be you arresting, and I say this in air quotation marks, our African brothers and sisters, because whenever South Africans have anything to say about illegal immigrants in South Africa, we're always labeled as xenophobic. Right? We're always labeled as xenophobic, but your government over there in Zimbabwe is actually arresting Malawians in Zimbabwe and actually detaining them and deporting them back to Malawi. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, Zimbabweans. If that is not just another level of hypocrisy, darling, I don't know what is. If that is not another level of hypocrisy, I do not know what that is. As you all know, illegal Zimbabweans are all over South Africa, and I'm speaking like a bad rash all over South Africa. Last week there was a trend, or actually some uproar, about our MEC Ramathuba speaking to an illegal Zimbabwean immigrant in a South African hospital actually seeking for medical care. Right? Did we deport that lady? No, we did not deport that lady. We actually operated on her. She wasn't sent to the police station. She wasn't deported back to Zimbabwe. So what gives you guys the right? Obviously your laws and regulations, right? But what gives you guys the right, the moral right to deport these people or to arrest these people in your country when you know what your own citizens are doing in South Africa? So the story is, and personally, in my opinion, I believe that this is just one big fat cover-up. Excuse me for the language. Actually, it's not a swear word, but excuse me, right? But the story is that these people were arrested because they were trying to get into South Africa. They were arrested in a house in Zimbabwe, and officials or the government is saying that the reason why they arrested these people is, number one, because they were in the country illegally, and number two, because they were trying to get into South Africa via Zimbabwe, because apparently Zimbabwe is a major hotspot route for people trying to get into South Africa. But my question is that if you're able to crack down on 148 Malawians at a time in 2 buses who are trying to cross over into South Africa illegally, how can you not stop your own citizens that are busy making Bait Bridge a hotway passage corner in Limpopo? How is that possible? You're able to detain 148 Malawians and it makes the news, but you're not able to stop your people from crossing into South Africa illegally, and that happens on a daily basis. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, because it doesn't make sense to me. How are we facing this immigration crisis, and especially from Zimbabweans, if your government is so competent on actually cracking down on people who are illegally trying to get into South Africa? It's not possible. There's no way that's possible. And that is why I think that's a cover-up. It just has to be a cover-up. No ways. Your government is clearly turning a blind eye to all of the illegal people that are coming into South Africa trying to get some sort of greener pastures in our African continent. And the EFF must not utter a word about this, because one thing we will not do is allow a borderless Africa. That will never happen. That will never happen, because we all know where everybody's flooding if the border gates are open, right? They're not flooding to Zimbabwe, are they?